Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing this fine Wednesday evening? Let's get in here and pray. I pray your Wednesday has been amazing. Mine has been. Me and God had some great conversations today. As usual, I was like, ooh. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nisi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus stole from the Rumala. You see how all three is there? Because God said he calling everybody to the table. If you want to come and have a sit down, God said, come on. I got a lot to share. Come on and sit down. Let's talk. Been waiting for you a long time. And I walk in and instead of fussing about what it looks like, just saying, because God don't care nothing about your past. Your past does not block you from the presence of God, okay? Remember that. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4, think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on God, God will keep me in perfect peace. It don't make sense, but it makes faith. Because what I have faith in, I'm going to believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on. And when I act on, I'm going to see happen in the spirit realm before it happens over here. Because see, faith without works is dead. All right. And then this realm right here is kind of heavy, so it takes a minute. Don't believe me? Ask Daniel. Go ask Daniel. It took him 21 days to get him. Okay. Don't talk to him. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts, you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me and I am you. You in my heart. You place a small heart. I don't know what happened right there. You place a small in my heart. Honey, let's talk about it. So before I even enter this earth, God placed a small allspark in our hearts. Okay. If you were born of a womb of a woman. All right. And so God told Jeremiah, I knew thee before you entered your mother's womb. Meaning, if he said it to one person, he gonna say it to all because we're all one. And God is not a respecter of person. Let's break that down. So, before we enter the womb of our mother, God, we had a covenant with God. And then God places himself in our heart. What? Yes, child. And it's up to us how we see it. We can see a foot. We can see it 40 feet. We can see it 60. We can see it 100. We can see it 1,000 feet. But it's based on how we work it. Ephesians 3:20. God will do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask or think according to how it works in us. So according to how the love works in us, it's according to how the God works with us. How about that? That's how you see the love in your life. So you can't blame nobody else. It's you. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods, he made all this stuff to put between us and God. God said, man, no problem with it. My concern is you're going to put creation before you put the creator. He said, I made it all. I made everything. The thing is, I want to give you a word of wisdom so when you walk into these places, you already know what's going on. So if you don't hear nothing I said, you know there's a problem in the camp and it's time to start stepping. Okay, it's time to start stepping because there's a problem in the camp and somebody is not talking to God. Somebody having another conversation. So if you're not hearing a confirmation of the word that God gave you, there may be Ichabod on the front door. That could be a business, that could be a church, that could be a ministry. It doesn't matter. It could be on anything because let's be honest, everything we do, we could turn that into a ministry. And if it's not uplifting God, it's doing something else. Just saying, God just want that one-on-one relationship with us, that we can have our own consideration and talk with him instead of believing everything everybody else trying to tell us. Okay. And listen to your body. Your body will tell you before your mind do. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God, your name is higher than any name that is on this earth or the universe. If it can be congregated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then if I think of something and I try to tell you, God is higher than that because it's going to be a sentence or a paragraph, meaning it's going to have punctuation. God is higher than that. So we've already realized that. So we can go on from there. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, there is no lack, there's only provision. You're more than enough and you supply all I need. It may not look the way I thought it was going to look, but it's supplied. I'm worthy because I exist, and I exist because I'm worthy, because I was born of a womb of a woman. I'm worthy. That's it. I don't have to do no hard work. There's nothing that you will ever withhold from me. You are my source, God, not the things on the outside of me. You will use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below, not from the east, west, and the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. See, that's my belief. It's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is here and I'm over here, God said, come to me as you are. I get up and come to God, but guess what? That means I change my perspective to come to God. Every time you get up and go to somebody, you're changing your perspective. Make sure it's worth it. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You heal so much of me. I didn't get into no crazy position today doing exercise. I did stand up air work today, and that was harder than doing regular crunches. I was like, whoa. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. No getting even with people, no arguing with them. Why? They know what they did, you know what they did. Why we wasting energy? Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator. Ask the Creator to cleanse and purify it. Send it back so you can send it back to the sender. Cleanse and purify. No stopping their path, no blocking their path, no matter what they did, okay? Because we have cause and effect, sowing and reaping, and corresponding action. Meaning, everything we do, words or deeds, are seeds. Seeds go in the ground, but they come back as trees. An oak or a sycamore, you choose. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out, and I don't have to stress about everything. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly. I leave it in God's hands. I'm not finna be fussing and or stressing me out. And so it will be, and so it be, and forevermore. Some of this stuff you just gotta get a God. You say, God, you know what? I wanted to do this, but then I thought about what you said, and it ain't even worth it. Look in the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay, let's read some here. Every time I read it now, I find something that oh my God, chapter, chapter. Page 46. This is a confirmation. Stand in place of vulnerability and allow me to lead you where you need to go. Trust me to minister to you. How's your fuss and get on the bus? And then don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books, woo, those are my shadow activity books. And I call them shadow activity books because there's so much to do. So while you're working on your shadow, you don't feel overwhelmed. There's other pages to turn to so you can stay in the flow with God, but also go into another realm to do something else. So you have a word of knowledge, then you have an exercise, fun. Then you have a shadow question, not so fun. You don't like that? Turn through pages, and you have a color page. God asked me to keep it between the ages of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. And then by the age of 7, it is solidified in the system. By the age of 10, it is really in there. And then by the age of 21 to 25, you are considered an adult. And so now it is your responsibility to work through those things. I didn't make the rules. You gotta ask God about it, okay? And then you have 4 pages. 4. It's 22 chapters per book. Okay, so you have 4 pages to sketch, draw, put down your dreams, put down your visions, put down whatever you want to. Why? Because the closer you get to God, you start having Stranger Thing moments, you start having X-File moments, and you start having moments that if you try to explain it to someone, it'll take too long and they won't get it until they have the same experience, and then you can talk to them. Before then, they tell me, I don't believe that. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. I know what happened. That's between me and God. Once you get to know him, then you'll see, you like, oh my goodness, they was right. We're spirit beings first. Don't forget about that. No matter what your background. You know why? Because God don't need no background check. God know you even if you just got peach fuzz on your head. God know all the hairs on your head. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. You'll see a link to the podcast with the women's leveling up. It was fun being there. I placed my new link to my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about that venture. Why? Because that's my intellectual property that's there. And although I got a lot of stuff over there on Amazon, my special journals are over there that help you walk through different things that you will go through in life. There are some freebies there just for you. I added a link to 105 spiritual laws. There were 7 in the Kabbalah book for the initiates, and I looked and they saw it was 12 in another one. I said, wait a minute. God is not an author confusion. Look it up. It is 105 spiritual laws. Time out. Even though it's 105 spiritual laws, we are no longer underneath the Mosaic law. We are now under what Jesus brought here, love and grace. The reason why we didn't get a chance to stay under it, because you can say that Jesus was an archetype, whatever you want to say. However, the thing that gets me is, if he was not the real deal, they've been working mighty hard to prove he ain't the real deal. They didn't say nothing about Buddha. They ain't say nothing about Allah. They ain't say nothing about Krishna. They ain't say nothing about Hecate. They ain't say nothing about Aphrodite. You know what I'm saying? They ain't say nothing about that. But him, oh no. He never existed. But you did a lot of work to prove he never existed. You took 54 books out of the Bible. Thank God that we living in 2025. Okay, 2026, I'm sorry. And I'm not. You know why? Because I made a little mistake, and mistakes are part of life. And if you're human, you're going to make a few. So don't beat yourself up when you make them. When you supposed to, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody supposed to be nothing. And you shoulda, woulda, coulda. That right there is trying to put somebody in a box. Just because you see me a certain way in your head don't mean I got to line up with it. Okay, I got my own life. I roll with God. Okay. All right. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about my other 2 books that's on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. So, getting back to that. So, Jesus came in here and brought two new paradigms, love and grace, saying that you get a right to use your mind. 12 o'clock. You get a right to use your mind and have critical thinking for what you want in your life. And so, the Pharisees and the Sadducees didn't like that because they had control of the people. And they was like, what you doing? They did many times try to take his life, okay, until the end. The funny thing is this. This is the funny thing. You worked really hard to prove he didn't exist and moved all them books of the Bible out, and we looking at you like this. You sure? Because you sure did a lot of work. All right. Honey, so love is the ability to love the unlovable, put up a boundary. Okay. And then you say, I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you as you're going on your way, or I release you in love. And then you going about your business. You like Abraham and Lot. They go that way, you go that way. It's done. Because according to Amos, 2 can only walk together if they agree. There's no more agreement. So you let them find their own path. Okay. And then there's no anger, there's no bitterness, there's no wrath, there's none of that. You let them go, you let them do what they want to do. They did what they did. They thought it was cool. They thought you were going to laugh it off. Ha, 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 ha. You did laugh it off as you went your other way. And then grace is God's ability to get involved with human affairs. That means God will pull you out of your mess. If you like me, I said, God, look, I give you free reign. I'm down here on earth. If something pop off and I can't pull myself out, I can't say, help. Like Peter, come and get me. God said, stay less. I'm going to come and get you. I said, all right, thank you. And then we have the 10 Commandments. Okay. It's really 613. You want to know all of them? Go ahead and get you a copy of the Torah. Or if you want the English version, get you a copy of the Tanakh or the Kamash. You can get them wherever Christian books are sold. If they don't have it on the shelf, I'm sure to get your business, they'll be more than happy to order it. Once you get that and you put that against everything that you've been reading in the Old Testament, you're like, wait a minute. Because that's the Jewish version. That's the version before it was tainted. Okay. Then you get to see the real deal, Holyfield. All right. And God told the Israelites, there's no way possible you can keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life. And they said, yes, we can. Us and our children's. I said, wait a minute. I didn't ask to be involved in this. Because see, anytime in the Bible where you see children, that's a lot of lineages right there, okay? And then the same thing happened when they said, the king said, who you want to release? Jesus or Barabbas? They said Barabbas was a serial killer. He was dead. And they said they wanted him back out of the street. Okay. Yeah. That's letting you know some stuff. And the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the religious leaders of the time, said to do it. Man, the craziness we'll do just to be in the in crowd. Child, anyway, that's where the generational baggage is coming from. That's where it's coming from. Because see, they were leaders that was in that time and they were elders, but to see the elders passed on and nobody kept the oral language going. Because around 180, 200 AD, Lord Henry with the Catholic Church took those books, 54 books of the Bible out. So you didn't get to learn about more Esther. Esther was what? You didn't get to know more about Daniel. You didn't get to know more about Doubting Thomas, Mary Magdalene, and the other women that ministered with Jesus. Oh yeah, they in there too. So you get to hear from that they standpoint. Remember how we were saying there was no women inside the Bible? They were. They just took them out. Because see, when you give a woman the anointing, oh, that's dangerous. That's why the church has been trying to keep women out of pulpits. Let me tell you why. Because we have a womb, but see, men have one too, but ours is different because see, we are made to carry babies. And we will carry it to the full gestation, meaning 10 months. I know it says 9 months, but 40 weeks, divide that by 9, you got too much time. That's 10 weeks. That's 40. Okay. Child, let me tell you, honey, that's 10 months. Child, let me tell you, you give a woman some food, you give a grocery, she'll give you a meal. You give a woman a house, a healed woman now, and she'll give you a home. You give her a semen seed, oh, she'll give you children. What I'm trying to say is, women have been suppressed for a long time. Let's go on. Watch what happened next. We know everything, but we don't know anything. And this keeps us from attachments as we go through each level and lesson. Taught to me by Jesus, Thoth, and Ishu. You see how everybody is in there, so you can't say you want to count for? Okay. The Adjective PDF and the 400 values PDF, our science project. So we can get here and say, I can change my whole Sims character to this janky promoter game. Let go. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events so you can know what's going on. Because I don't share everything here. Look at my new link for the school app. I'm just getting things started over there. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who for 2025 and influential women and worldwide women. God is so faithful. Check this out. And look what I forgot. Was sitting in here when I was cleaning up. This is from Who's Who from 2017. This is what I received when I had my when with my nonprofit Refuge Women's Transition Center. hmm I was helping women and teenage girls come out of sex trafficking. I had a lot of help, and then I looked up everybody was gone. I was like, "Well, this is mine, so let's keep going. God gave it to you. He gave you this as your mission. Remember, whatever God gave to you as your mission, you might as well call it as a ministry. Because if God gave it to you, He's looking for you to have some discipline and some order about it. Okay. And then I was helping teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI to their family, helping young girls that came out and said that they was pregnant and their parents kicked them out. When we was at a place, I was at a place where you mess around and put these children out there on the street, they gone in the morning. So yeah, and people be on the news, bring my baby back. Well, you the one threw them out there. All right, put them somewhere safe so they can have, cause have safety and checking up on them, or I let them stay where I was at. Okay. Then I was helping people that would come out of domestic violence, putting them in places that were safe. And we lost 2 women because they went back because, you can't force people to stay in safety. Everybody's addicted to something. While you judging them, what are you addicted to? I don't judge people. The reason why I don't judge people because the minute you judge somebody, let me tell you something. The universe and God will show you how to be humble. Woo, you will be in a paradox yourself. That's why I don't judge nobody. I say what God says and get on about my business. Then I talk to God. I'm like, God, why you tell me that? And then I was helping people that lost everything in fires and floods. I had it in my house first, and then I said I need to get a storage room because I got too much. I need to get this out of here. And then people would come and they would get what they needed. I would say, how many rooms you got? They would tell me. And I was like, that's good. Go on about, only get what you need because somebody else is coming through here too. Had clothes, shoes. People just giving me nice stuff, And then I gave them like baggies of toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, fingernail polish remover. The women got the things in their bags. Because when you lose everything, everything is gone and you in a complete shock. You ain't a shock. You just lost everything and it just happened in seconds. We forget about that. You like, oh, the Red Cross got it, but the Red Cross is working through red tape. And so I gave them gift cards, like $20. It was a refund. It was refillable gift cards, so they could put their own money in there and keep going. Okay, because when you waiting on somebody to help you out through red tape, you still need underwear, you still need bras, still need t-shirts, still need socks. These are the simple things you need. Okay, honey. And then I helped out this one woman for the Thanksgiving. Because I said, I'm gonna cater a family, and I found out that she needed help because she had just got laid off. But then after me and her was talking, she was like, they finna lay off a lot more people at the job for Christmas. I was like, really? And she told me some names, and I put them in a bowl, and I shook them up, and for Christmas, I found out how many children they needed, and did that. Made sure the children got 2 gifts. I catered their house with honey baked ham. Then I made sure they had $150 of groceries per household. Then I was helping out women that needed help with therapy. I think I gave them 3 to 6 months of therapy. I know it was expensive. And it's okay. It was like $600 and some dollars for each woman. And then I gave them, I think, $150 or $250 of groceries just to help them out so they could stay afloat. Child. And I did that on live online with that one. I had fun with that one. Woo! I am so glad that God remembers what we do. Because God said, what you do in private, I reward you in public. And I took pictures and put them on my website, but I didn't take pictures of the women and the children. I just didn't feel right with it. Something didn't sit right with me. And some people say, oh, you could just take a picture of them from the chest down. I said, when you dealing with people who know who you are and they know your body movements, that didn't sit right with me. Okay, I'm just glad God don't need all that fanfare. God is faithful, and I'm thankful for everything. Okay, don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use with all natural remedies for assistance doing the diagnosis I received of breast cancer. And they told me I had 6 months to live. I said, the devil is a lie. That's what I told the doctor. I said, the devil is a lie. And the doctor was like, well, that's what you got going on, ma'am. It's all on your left-hand side, and we need to do immediate surgery. I said, mm-mm. I said, no, thank you. I asked some questions, and they started backpedaling in, gaslighting me. I said, what you not finna do is cut me open. You gaslight me, and sometimes it's best to use critical thinking. And God told me, you take anything in this office, you gone in a week. And I said, I like looking at myself. I know it's lame, but here it is. So I said, I bind every disease, every bacteria, every germ, every tumor, every growth, every parasite that's on my body. Now they finding out that cancer is a parasite. Told y'all, every parasite that's on my body, and I cursed it to the pit of hell from whence it came, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God, and I take full responsibility of what I did because I ate it. It was hand to mouth, hand to mouth. I did this to myself. Yes, they put these chemicals in this food. Yes, we thought this food was what it said it was, but it's not. And I shouldn't have been eating all of that. It's on me. I put it on me because I could blame them, and I have every right, but I'm gonna put it on me because see, when you take full responsibility, God's got something to work with. So me and God, I left out of there, went home. So talking to God, he said, call the naturopathic doctor, call the naturopathic doctor, pull down everything that Dr. Sebi ever had on being alkaline. Show the naturopathic doctor, they was like, this is cool, great list. However, this, you can't have in your system. I know it's veggies and I know it's just fruit. But with your blood type, this will turn into acid in your system. We need you to be as alkaline as possible. I said, say less. And then sometimes she would tell me, we need you to eat at least some red meat twice a month. We just need to get your white blood cells up because your T cells need to be strong to fight this thing. And I said, say less. Because we were doing all natural. Okay, so I said, say less. And then my ancestor said, go ahead and get that dandelion, get that morning glory. Remember that morning glory, you could, okay, when you run up out of weed, okay, just go on in the backyard, dry it on up and keep it moving. Okay, and then that crabgrass, if you've seen it, I put the video out today so you can see it, what it looked like, so you could go in the backyard and go ahead and harvest your own stuff out your backyard before you cut your grass. Okay, because okay, and that crabgrass is wild scallions. Our ancestors lived off that. This is, and they sell it here. They sell it here as scallions. They sell it here as scallions in the farmers market. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, like 50 cents a bushel. That's what you was looking at, a little bushel in a rubber band. I was like, hush your fuss. And then they also sell, um, what is that stuff? Oh, okay. Poke salad. You saw the video. I hope you saw the video of poke salad as well. It looked like cilantro and lettuce had a baby together and it's serrated around the edges. Honey, it's kind of got a nutty flavor and a minty flavor. You gotta try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. And when you see it, you be like, what? And then you add it to your other meals. You can add it to a salad. You can do whatever you want to, just the same way with the crabgrass. It is like a wild scallions. Our ancestors lived off that because they didn't hardly get nothing. So when they said they lived off the land, they really were living off the land. It was no lie. Okay. Honey, I put that together on top of my spinach underneath my jasmine rice because the jasmine rice was hot and it wilted everything, but it was still crunchy and you could hear the crunch. Ooh, ain't nothing like some greens. They still got a little crunch on it, like the spinach, and ooh, because that's got the chlorophyll in it, and chlorophyll is melanin. Get it? Message. So, hope you got it. All right, it helps your body. Boy, the one. Anytime you get some green leafy vegetables, you finna fight some stuff. Okay, all right, honey. And then I put that squash, zucchini, and red onions, red, orange, and yellow bell peppers on there. Child, you weren't telling me. And I ate some seafood every once in a while because I needed, my blood type said I needed some meat every once in a while. Do what's right for you. Somebody gonna tell you, no, you need to do this, 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 and you gonna be in a casket somewhere because you listening to someone else's when your blood type ain't got nothing to do with this. Just saying. Just saying, use some deductive and some critical thinking before you start taking on stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's all I'm saying. Just do a little bit of thinking, do a little bit of studying. If you don't know, we got Google, we got Chat GPT, we got all this stuff. What's stopping you? Psalms 91, 1 through 6 NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest under the shadow of the Almighty. Come on here now. This I declare about the Lord. He is my refuge and is, and my place of safety and is. He is my God and is all day long. No shame. And I trust him 100%, for he will rescue me from every trap and did and still does, and protect me from every deadly disease and did and still does. He will cover me with his feathers and he will shelter me with his wings. Woo! He is faithful to his promises. Let's take a minute. God's promises are yes and amen. Let me tell you something. On the way to getting every one of God's promises, we will have pauses, we will have stops, we will have dips in the road. Why? Because number one, God is making sure that we take the longest route possible because the shortest route is where the system wants us to go so they can get a hold of us. And then when God sees that stuff is coming that can harm us, God puts us on pause. And then on top of that, God's like, I'm also helping your character while I'm putting you on pause. So while I'm putting you on pause, do little small steps in your mind about changing your mindset, changing your perspective, changing this, just changing things, simple things. And then when he say go, you do little steps every day to get where you want to be. My armor and my protection, I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the bullets that fly at them. I do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness. Why? David told us in Psalm 23, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. David walked through the dark night of the soul. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. My rod and staff shall comfort me. This right here is your middle. Who knew that my spine and my shoulder to shoulder was my cross? Jesus said, pick up your cross and carry it with you, David. And in the church for so long, it was so vague. Now I totally understand. Okay. And then right here is your higher self sits here. This is your 0 point in the body. Honey, let me tell you something. God sit right here. That's where you get that brain heart coherence. You're not here for me now. And it says, and my cup runneth over. That means infinite everything. Because God will give to you. You give it out. And then God said, oh, you didn't. Pour you some more. And then you give it out and you'll pour you some more. The minute that you get greedy, God said, okay, I'm waiting for you to pour it out. Because this is infinite, honey. God ain't Ripple-Stilskin. He gonna keep on. He don't have clauses that hurt you. Okay. And then it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Woo, you go to Isaiah 53 and it says, God will send the angels to go before me. Excuse me, confirmation burp. To go before me to set asunder to make the crooked places straight. Let me tell you, and God is always my real guide. So then you come back. God is always my real guide, being goodness and mercy, following me all the days of my life. And why do I dwell in the house of the Lord? Because I am the vessel of God. God sits in my heart. So wherever I go, God go with me. No matter where you go, no matter where you go, God is going with you. And because He's looking out through your eyes. So give Him a good show, okay? Give Him something to talk about up there. You see what I'm saying? The angels are with you too, because if God is in here, they protecting you, because you the vessel that God is walking in. Plus you fuss and get on the bus. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. That's why you always say, I send my angels to go before me to make the crooked places straight. Do what you need to do so I can go ahead and do what I need to do, and I cover myself through and by. Let's go. A hand over heart for your affirmation. I am not society script. I am my own definition. I am not of the system, but a flame from God. Source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. I let go of that attachment, because if you can't fix it in 15 minutes, why are we stressing? I monitor the use of my own energy, because if you don't monitor the use of your energy, guess who's finna do it? Somebody is finna come in here and monitor your energy. And they're going to use the energy that you're not using. And then you're going to feel kind of bad. And you losing your birthright. How about that? If we decide at the same time that we don't want this anymore and stay in that vein, we can change anything. Only thing you need to do is change your mind. Once you change your mind and you start walking in it, there's nothing that can stop it. The thing is allowing yourself to control your own emotions and not allow people to trigger you. How do you do that? You work on your triggers. What triggers you? What triggers you? What triggers you? Does it trigger you that somebody tell you, oh, you can't do that? Well, work on that trigger. What triggers you? How do you do that? Quiet time. Take 6 minutes here and there to see the life you truly want. Then once you have a vision of that, what you want, you start walking towards it. How do you do that? Write down the ideas that show up out of nowhere. I'm telling you, open up, if you got an iPhone, open up your notepad on your iPhone. Open it up. Just open it up, okay? And put a date and just write down all the ideas that come up. Keep like a little notepad with you that you could put in your pocket or in your back pocket. Just carry it with you. People may be laughing at you, but write down everything that you hear. It may not make sense right now where you're at, but soon one of those ideas is going to make sense, and it's going to change your entire life. God don't give you nothing for nothing. Everything God gives to you has a purpose. Again, they won't make sense, and maybe it'll be a little kooky like the Addams Family. Okay, however, later it will make a good connection. Just write it all down. One out of nowhere, you will hear would start taking the first step. Do so, and yes, it will be a little scary, but keep going no matter what. Take breaks, but don't stop. Everything around you is trying to trigger you to be what they are and what it wants you to be. You get to say who you are. This your life. This your body. You get to say who you are. Nobody gets to tell you who you are supposed to be. But see, there's this thing that when you come out the womb, they do this. Look at this movie called The Ants. If you're an adult, go watch this Disney movie called The Ants, and you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. I live my life like Z. On the movie The Ants, they were born and everybody was like, worker, soldier, worker, soldier. And they told them what they was going to be. They didn't allow them to make their own decisions. Again, you in control of your own emotions. And you can say what you want to see in your life to see it. You're in control of that. That means you get to see breath work and slow down. In essence, what you see will come to pass. When you close your eyes, you have those moments of meditation and you see your vision coming to pass. Your higher self has already went before you to make it come to pass. Now you get the opportunity to step it out on a daily basis. Use your intuition. Many will come to deceive you. If you're not teaching If you're not teaching the word for reading the word for yourself and teaching yourself and reading the word for yourself, whatever is your sacred text of choice, it doesn't matter. What's your sacred text? Remember, you are God in the human skin walking on the earth. Psalms 82 and 8. Go look at it for yourself. It says, don't you remember I said that ye are God? We build what we want. However, we've been told something different than that. You can create whatever you want as long as you don't hurt others or yourself. If you don't know, you have the power to change your life. You won't. You can change it anytime, whenever you're ready. This is your life. If it doesn't sit well with you anymore, just let go and go after what you want. Today I read Acts 15 and 16. It talks about not doing outside works, but looking on the inside. And 427 in Quran talking about love and peace and how to stay in that vein. So you can check those out as well. Symptoms today. I woke up excited for life, and then I had a moment of just blah. I said, that's not my energy. I call all my energy back to me to recenter. I sent out cleansing and purifying energy back out. Don't know what happened. I don't know where it came from, but I also don't blame anyone as well. Okay, I don't know what happened. I just took care of myself. I grounded and meditated, praying in tongues, allowing the presence of God to consume me today. It was so beautiful. Of course, tears fell. I worked out and it felt so good to my body. I've been doing this thing. Today, I did workout, standing against the wall, working my abs. Ooh, that standing ab workout. And then when you bend over and you suck in and you blow out and you suck in and you blow out while you touching your toe. Oh my God. I saw that. I said, ooh, didn't nobody know. Ow. That it did. Realizing people would rather get in a casket instead of looking at themselves in the mirror. This is your life, and you get to say what you want and what you don't want. This your life. I closed my eyes today under the sun while I was walking Bella and just breathing all the goodness coming in from the sun. I just closed my eyes and I saw, oh, it was such a beautiful moment. I saw so many sacred geometry and so many beautiful shapes, so many designs, and oh my God, it was so beautiful. And it was just so beautiful. The nature was, the birds were singing, and everything was just so beautiful. You gotta try it sometime. Just go outside and just, even if the sun ain't outside, just look at the sky and close your eyes and just enjoy the moment. Soak up the nature. Just, oh, it was beautiful. I look for opportunities today to just laugh. Woo! Laughter is good like medicine. Child, it's good for you. I laugh so hard. I even put it on my board to laugh 3 times a day. At least 3 good belly laughs, because that's good. Okay? You add years to your life when you belly laugh. Okay? I took a nap and woke up feeling like I wasn't where I went to sleep. It took me a minute to gather my bearings. Like, did y'all feel it? I woke up, I was like, where am I at? I spoke life into myself today. I was like, girl, you are, look at you. Oh, child, the stuff I was telling myself today, stuff I would tell a friend. I was like, what do you mean tell me? Okay. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own time. It is hard when you love folks, it is. But in their own time, okay? Keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. I know you care for them. But what are they showing you? Are you really paying attention? Some only want to connect with you when they feel you and see you growing. Let them go to learn their own lessons, because they're going to say they ready and then they're going to try to get to the next level and stuff going to kick them back where they came from. They will hold you down for moving forward. Just let go. It will be okay. God has you and them. Trust this. Listen to, I don't care if they family, let go. Everyone must work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. Trust in God. Don't carry someone else's burdens, because that's not your job. Philippians 2 and 12. You can look that up for yourself and see. Save yourself and keep going. Because let me tell you, you're going to be resentful if you do that. James 1:19 through 21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Why? Human anger is different than righteous anger. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires. Righteous anger says we need to do something now. So get rid of all that negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in your heart. Don't know what God planted in your heart? That's between you and God. That's your personal business. For it has the power to save your souls. Whatever God told you to do, stick with it. It will save your soul. Verses like the Quran 17:53 and 4148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slander and gossip, and speaking the truth. Are we doing that? And 2:254, this verse emphasizes that it's not for creation to question Allah who are under Allah, because Allah's decisions are better than yours. Why? Because Allah is in a better position to see the whole thing. You only see a square. It requires the believers to surrender to Allah with Allah's will, which is the message of surrender and divine authority. Ain't that something? We all doing the same thing, so why we fighting each other? We keep fighting each other because of the rules and everything that we know. Some of us ain't learned nothing else. And the only thing we know is just fighting. And we just want to end fight. That's all we want to do. If we ever choose to work together, you know how dangerous it'll be. That's why they keep us fussing, because if we ever work together, it'll look like the civil rights. And they doing everything possible to keep us from looking like that era. Okay. Do you know who you really are? It's time to get into your studies wherever you're in, because that's none of my business. Pray, meditate, and find out who you really are under all those masks you've been wearing all these years. Be so secure when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker every time. You know why? Because you know who you are. And you know if something hits you, you got this. You can bounce back from it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And clap your hands to it. Hey, come on, rock down. Okay. I'm still saying, because what? It's my blood bought right. It's my birthright. I am worthy of love. That is my birthright, to be worthy. I came out of a womb of a woman. It is my birthright to be worthy. I'm worthy of a life I love. I don't have to fight nobody to say I'm worthy. I'm worthy. Even if people don't think so, I'm worthy. I feel it. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. I am. I am worthy of my. Let me tell you something. That's infinite wealth coming from God. That's infinite, overflowing. You pour out, God put some more. You pour out, God put some more. You hold it, God said, "Well, I'm waiting on you." Then you pour it out, God give you some more. Pour it out, God give you some more. Honey, that's different. That's infinite wealth on all levels. I'm worthy of the dream that is in my heart. If it's in my heart, you best believe it's coming to pass, because I have no plans of quitting. May take a break, but that's it. I release timelines that's no longer for me. Let me tell you something. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You don't like me, but you constantly looking. Why? It don't make sense. We no longer agree. We did, but now we don't. You did something. You know what you did. I know what you did. So two can only walk together if you agree. I said no thank you. We're now Abraham and Lot. I let you go your way, I go mine. I put up a boundary. I send cleansing and purifying energy to you, and nothing but I send nothing but love to you as you go on to your way. You know why? Because what you did, I don't have time to retaliate. That is not my thing. Because everything that we do and say is a seed. So seeds turn into trees, and that turns into a sycamore or oak tree. I don't have time for that, because both of those trees are mighty, and they don't get knocked down in a storm. Okay? All right. So I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you as you go on your way. I don't have no out, I don't have no bitter, I don't have no strife. None of that. I'm just done. Don't have to keep playing these games. Done. I'm going on with my life. Wish you nothing but the best as you go forward, finding out who you are. Because we all trying to figure it out every day. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. If it requires me to stop being all of me to be in your presence, you might be holding your breath, because I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move in stillness. Let me tell you something. Excuse me, confirmation, but when you get still in the presence of God, ain't nothing. Just let you know, burping and yawning is a spiritual response that is allowing you to know that you're getting confirmation from the spirit realm, and not just that, but you are releasing energies as well. Okay, you're growing. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I'm never alone. I have my ancestors, angels, and God as a threefold cord, and it's not easily broken. I'm so secure knowing if I'm walking by myself, I'm never alone. Honey, my ancestors come out them bushes doing a guerrilla warfare. That's between you and them. Something happened with your ancestors and mine, and that's all I got to say. And they own theirs. The angels always bring me in something amazing that causes my heart to light up. Let me tell you something. These angels never, they never fail. Mm, Woo, I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. There are 101 million ways to receive love. Are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to be vulnerable enough to keep your heart open? Are you vulnerable enough to ask God to turn this heart of stone, a bitter heart, of angry heart? Are you ready to ask God to turn this heart of stone to a heart of flesh so it can be malleable in the potter's hands? Mm, 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 mm. People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said, we don't usually do this. They just can't help it. Give me a moment. My ears is ringing. I'm listening. Break it down for me. They just can't help it. I can't help it either. But if God, my ancestors, say and my intuition say no, hands up, I'm done. I have miracles every day, and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I'm aligned. When you start falling in line with what God is doing, let me tell you something, can't nothing stop it. Because God gonna start pouring stuff on you. You be like, wait a minute, I ain't even asked for this. God said, I know, but you've been working so hard. Here you go. I don't consent in any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself. Untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, cut. Snip, snip. Burn, burn. And I sever every cord of connection. Ain't no reason holding on. Why? And quit looking over the fence, Mr. Wilson. I'm worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. You best believe every desire that God put in my heart for the covenant, I'm gonna get it because I'm gonna just keep going. I allow here thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to fight for it. I don't have to compete with you. I don't have to yell with you. I don't have to take what's yours because I'm not finna covet your stuff. Your stuff belong to you. I'm worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness in any moment. If I can get up here and see this from another perspective, I can change my life in seconds. You hear me? I saw this somewhere and I said, okay, thank you. It's mine now. All things come to me in perfect mature time and for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. If you win, I win. How about that? Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on every dime that was spent. Taken and stuff I didn't know was taken. Everything my ancestors left behind. What? But I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. Honey, just loving on you is everything. Because then God loves back on you. And ain't nothing like when God loves on you. You hear me? I saw this on Google and I said, okay, I see you, Google. Then I added some extra seasoning on it until the ancestors said stop. And I put some hot sauce on it. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to the rightful owner. Cleanse, purify, no matter where we originally met. Universe, world, timeline, dimension, realm. Even if I was a space dust, a space rock, I sever the cord of connections. The lessons have been learned and I release you to find your own way. I call all my energy fragments back to me now. I am free. I am free. I am free. I'm like Magneto. I'm like a magnet for my stuff back. What? I'm a magnet for all my energy back. I don't know about you, but I am. I now release all energies, traumas, patterns that aren't in alignment with my highest good across all timelines and dimensions. I am free. I am free. I am free. Everything my ancestors didn't call in, I am free. You hear me, Jam? Mm-mm-mm. Auto change the lose. Mm-mm. Auto change the lose. Mm-mm. Auto change the lose. I sit in peace while I trust the process and I don't rush the process. Can we wait when it gets silent? Because you know what that means? That means the tester is in the room. The test taker. Woo, the test taker, according to the Bible, if you look in there, it's talking about Saturn. hmm I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts that bring transformation. Signature topic: helping visionaries reconnect, reinvent, step into the rebirth process, and rise with confidence. Let's really be honest. We're all visionaries with our own personal dreams. It's just we forgot surviving life and we threw everything in the back seat. Pull that stuff out of the back seat, put it in the passenger seat, hit it with the defibrillator, clear, and let's bring that dream back to life. Teaching individuals how to return to themselves, quiet the noise on the inside. You can't do nothing without going on outside. Live boldly on your own terms, guiding through mindset shifts, emotional release, and soul level understanding, helping all of us navigate the reinvention, rebirth, setting boundaries, and still moving forward, and rise into our purpose with confidence. Because, see, confidence is the missing substance to faith. Hi, my name is Renetta Chastity, owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC. Soul Igniter, trauma overcomer, holistic spiritual strategist. I work with the whole being from my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. I have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend mental and public health. If you have a public health problem, you have a mental health problem. There is severe shock and awe going on. Okay. Massage therapy, Reiki and sound healing, holistic practitioner. We pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tutor. Human design practitioner. We go back to your original purpose. Then we come back and look at all that generational baggage and start pulling it out. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then my path would be a little different and probably a little standoffish until others had started doing their work. But I didn't stop. I asked myself uncomfortable questions every day. Sometimes the questions are quiet. I just sit and I ask myself questions. I'm like, when I say the that usually mean I done ran into something. I said, nah, we need to spend some more time right there to get out of old patterns. I do the work every day and it's not always pretty, but I wake up to confront the areas in me in love that need a facelift. We keep working on the outside, but forget about the inside. hmm So I can go forward. What will you do? What are you afraid of losing? Is it once you see that colonialism and imperialism has played everybody on this planet, you won't know what to do if you're not fighting each other, going at each other? Because see, the labels make us fight. How about we find ways to have conversations that cause a pause to see things differently in all areas? This will cause us to quit blaming others and everybody else for our problems. Because everybody ain't causing our problems. Some of our problems are truly personal. See, where we might, and so you can see where you might have truly missed it. We can only meet people where we've met ourselves. Remember that the next time you say you want a real relationship, it requires a mask to come off and get on the table and have some real conversations. We have many adults, because while your representative is there, can't nobody have to talk to nobody. We have many adults who were never taught to how to feel safe. So they seek safety and validation outside of themselves because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. So I ask you, what emotion from your childhood did you push into a corner and made a vow to not do or be? I won't ever be like them. I won't ever do this. I won't ever. Or you made vows of poverty. You made vows of celibacy. You made all these vows and you wonder why you can't get into a relationship. You put that vow there. And until you renounce that vow, there it is. See, the vows we all made is playing out on the big stage. While we get to protest and speak our minds, are we helping that little girl or little boy that's on the inside of us heal? That's your true shadow. That person that you put in the corner, you said, I don't want to talk about it no more. It hurts too much to keep talking about it. Well, why you keep saying that? You keep putting that little girl in the corner. How they said on Dirty Dancing, don't put baby in the corner. You don't put baby over there in the corner, and it's time to bring baby out and ask, what can I do for you? How can I make you feel safe? Because you're an adult now. You a CEO, or you a high level executive, or you're working in a high level branch. You're different now. Okay, now it's time to ask some questions. So we don't be that aggressive person for no reason because we haven't dealt with ourselves. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process by sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from coming into my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. See, God is in me, but I had to find me before I could find God. What does that mean? I had to ask myself, why you feel like this? What's triggering you to make those emotions? Why you feel this way? Like, for real, we need to look at this. Why you feel this way? And I didn't run from it. I stayed in the fire. Okay. I stayed in the fire. But we're taught God is on the outside of us in the great by and by. God is on the inside of us, waiting to be tagged into our battles. Ephesians 6 and 2 Corinthians 10 says, we're fighting principalities, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Remember, we are spirit first. Then we are living in a body and we have a soul. This is when the negative thinking has gone on so long in this enormous society, or has the Bible say, the multitude. Remember when they said the multitude was thronging Jesus? The reason why they said the multitude, because all the thoughts was just thronging him. But the only people that really received healing was a woman with the issue of blood. And she said, I'm tired of bleeding. I'm ready for this to be over. So I heard this man is powerful, and I know when I touch him, it is over. See, she saw it before she saw it. See, you get the opportunity to see it before you see it. That's what vision forecasting is. You see it before you see it, and then you take the steps to go forward. No matter what's going on, you could take little steps, you could take long strides, you could take low crawling, whatever you do to get there, you doing what you doing. This is what every ascended master had to fight against. The mindset of us who complain but don't want to change, or don't know how to. And it causes a dip in morale because most can't get out because it's ancestral or generational. So to get out, it requires one to get uncomfortable. We don't like that. That's like a word. To get past the plateau of complacency, or this is how we've always done it. Let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about every group. Okay. So we're gonna talk about the FBAs, Alkebunim, African diaspora. Okay, let's talk about it. The FBAs had to live with and find ways to live while fighting, like Nehemiah, living and building and fighting at the same time. So we have built up our resilience muscles to deal with most stuff that most people can't. So when people look at the outside in and talking about why aren't you further? Because the system is set up for us to be on the bottom. Excuse me, confirmation verb. And at the same time, we're working hard to change our mindset to get to another place. And while we're changing our mindset to get to the other place, we're having to deal with us and the system. Because once we deal with us, the blocks that are in us, then we deal with the blocks that's in the system. So that causes our resilience to be on a whole nother level. See, many people are fighting battles you don't know nothing about. Don't judge, because that battle could quickly be yours. Woo! You never thought you never were taught to fight because your leaders kept everything in documents and unseen. So you didn't get a part of the fight. Now you're getting into the fight. Now everybody's getting into the fight, but the FBA's been in the fight for a long time. We've been in the fight for a long time. Just to get to where we believe in ourselves. Just to fight there. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about Caucasians. Y'all almost have it, but you also see it's okay for what's still happening around the world. Some of you are still so naive. It won't happen to me and mine. Let me tell you something. When you're dealing with something that doesn't care about anyone except the top, there's no trickle down. I'm just letting you know that, okay? So, what happened in that stage, that's just the beginning. It caused an uproar, but that's just the beginning. Because until you work on the inside and deal with that issue that's been plaguing this planet for so long, and you release your hold off of it, because let's talk about it. Racism is a mental health issue because it's not my problem. That's yours. You see it in your head. How you see me is not how I see me. So how you see you is between you and God, because that ain't how me and God see me. So just how you see me ain't how I see me. And how your little picture of me in your head is. I ain't got to be none of that. I could be all of me and that. Plus, I was in the army, so I'm going to be all of me and some more. Okay. Latina and Spanish. There's infighting with y'all, and then y'all are benefiting off the FBA. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened over there in Haiti. They fought and they fought and they fought and they won. So y'all benefited from that too, but then you act standoffish. But you benefiting for what they did. Make that make sense. And then y'all are infighting with each other. Don't call me Puerto Rican, I'm Cuban. Don't call me Brazilian. I'm Puerto Rican. Don't call me this. I'm Panamanian. We don't know all of that. We don't know. That's why we ask questions. We're not trying to be hateful or mean. We don't know. Same thing with Asians. You benefit off the FBAs too. Mhm. You come into our locations and you build your businesses and you build money and then you send it back to your country and you just you living off the high life of us because we're kept on the low level because we are the FBAs and they know it. And they know if we ever get to where we supposed to be, it's over. Do you hear me? It's over. So we still climb. Keep rising to the top in the beat strut. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Come on, Raquel. Oh, that just came up. So you are benefiting off the FBAs. But act as if you put in the work and put your nose up when we all get the opportunity to work together. And quiet until it hits your block, like what happened when those women got taken out. How quickly we forget. Native Americans and I'm not judging nobody. I'm just putting it out here so you can see it. Native American, Alaska, and Hawaiians, you've been through lots. And stay clear to assimilate until you can't no more. You also benefit off the FBAs as well. Now some of y'all like us. Y'all be doing that thing. Ooh, I love to see y'all do that thing right there. Ooh, there's something. Ooh, my ancestors be screaming. I love it. But everybody is benefiting off the FBAs, and y'all like, won't y'all help? Child, we've been helping for so long. We need to help ourselves. I'm just saying, help yourself, baby. Help yourself. Love on yourself. Find out why that's triggering you, so you can come on out of there. There's some freebies and a link for my podcast with the women's leveling up. Like I said, I ain't judging nobody. I'm just stating the facts. And that was done in May. And then there's magazines I was covered in September, October, and December. Look in the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. Remember, I said I deal with uncomfortable moments. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed a link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Okay, let's talk about it. Page 57. I told you that I will never let you down or forsake you. Rest in me. I have your best interest in mind for you. Trust me, trust me, trust me. See, God is so good. Every time I open this book, there's always some good jewels in here because God is amazing, 100%. Woo! So amazing. Oh, I don't remember who sang that song. And then don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both those books are shadow activity books. And let's talk about them. Both of those books, they talk about the shadow, but it's a fun way to deal with your shadow. So you have a word of knowledge to go ahead and plant you in for the chapter. And then after the word of knowledge, then you have what is it called? Then you have an exercise. Then you have a shadow question. Not so nice. Then you have and then you have a color page. God asked them to keep it between the age of 5 and 10, because between the age of 5 and 10 is where most generational wounding happened. That childhood wounding, because you couldn't speak up for yourself, and the people that should have spoke up for you, they couldn't because they went through the same thing. Okay, no matter what it is. All right, and then by the age of 7, it is solidified. By the age of 10, it's really in there. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now belonging to you, and you get to work it out through your own paths. Okay, and then you also get 4 pages. It's 22 chapters per book. You get 4 pages of journaling, sketching, drawing, write down your dreams, your visions, whatever. Why? Because the closer you get to God, you start having Stranger Thing moments and X-File moments. Because the closer you get to God, God is amazing. There's something, let me tell you. Remember, you were spirit first, and you start becoming who you say you are. Okay. No matter what your background. Remember why? Because God don't need your background check. God already know who you are. Don't forget about the books that are already on New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield, and Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. Okay. Those are on the New York Times bestseller list already. Hey, no matter what your background, God don't care about your background. God already know who you are. He know all the hairs on your head. Plus, even if you just got peach fuzz, God know everything about you, everything you ever done or said. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books for all that help in meditating, recalibrating the mind. Nothing like an adult. Coloring. It's some color and hum. See what that do to you. Do something for your vagus nerve. It takes your nervous system down. Your vagus nerve is right up in here. And when you hum, it just relaxes you and it takes your nervous system down. Oh my gosh, it's something for you. I hum all the time because it helps me relax. I'm excited about this venture. Why? Because I'm in charge of all my intellectual property, even though I got a lot of stuff on Amazon and other sites like Barnes and Noble. Don't forget about the link to 105 spiritual laws. Yes, it's 105 spiritual laws, but no, we're no longer underneath the law. We're under love and grace, okay? Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Don't forget to get your adjective and your 400 values PDF. Put them things together and change your whole life. Okay, I did it. I changed my Sims character this janky promoter game. I said, look at the new link for the school app. Got things together. Come on over and visit me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who and Influential Women of 2025, bringing up that last rim. And Women's Worldwide. And look what I received in 2017. Look at that. I received that for my work with my nonprofit Refuge Women's Transition Center. I was helping women coming out of sex trafficking and teenage girls coming out of sex trafficking. I was helping young girls come, put them in homes that came out and said they were LGBTQ, LG, LGBTQAI. That's hard to say fast, and who came out and said they was pregnant. Their parents put them out. I put them in places where they could be, or they stayed where I was at. Okay, honey, let me tell you. And I made sure they was okay. And then when they said they good, I left them where they were, because now they good. And then I helped out domestic violence. We lost 2 women because they went back. Let me tell you something. Don't judge nobody, because everybody's addicted to something, whether we want to admit it or not. Because some of our stuff can be hid in the booth, in the back, in the dark. But not everybody's stuff can be hid. Okay, all right. And then I helped out people who lost everything in a fires or in a flood. I had so much stuff coming in because, see, people knew I had a nonprofit, so they would bring their clothes and their shoes, and I would wash everything and dry it up. And because just because you lost everything don't mean you want nothing clean. Why would I give you something raggedy and you just starting over? I was having new mattresses and beds and sheets and comforters and everything. Man, I had some of everything. And people would just come and I said, only take what you need. How many bedrooms you got? They tell me. I said, only take that, because somebody else is coming to get some assistance. I would give them bags with Ziploc bags with toothbrush, toothpaste, and You know, the toiletries that they need. The women got the toiletries for they monthlies, okay. And then I also gave them fingernail polish and fingernail polish removal. Why? Because even though that you just lost everything, doesn't mean that you don't want to feel pretty, to feel like yourself again. Everybody want to feel like they self again. Honey, and then after that, I helped out this family for Thanksgiving, this one family for Thanksgiving, because she had got laid off. And then when I found out, when I got to the house, she told me that a lot of people that her job was going to get laid off. I told her to give me some names. She gave me the names of the people she could remember. And I put them in a bowl and I pulled them out, and we did. And I called them and found out what they needed. I got them 2 Christmas gifts for the children, gave them a honey baked ham, things for the family, and $150 for the family. And then I helped out women that needed therapy. I helped 2 women. I made sure they had therapy. I think it was 3 months or 6 months. I'm not quite sure. You have to look on the post and see that on my webpage. And then after that, I also made sure they got, I think it was either $150 or $250 worth of groceries. And I gave them a gift card so they could go ahead and do what they needed to do with the money. Honey, because there were a lot of people helping me. Now all of a sudden people were gone, so I said, you know what? Keep going, Renetta. God gave this to you, and God said, whatever you do in private, He will reward you in public. And I'm so grateful that God don't forget. Because see, people forget what you do for them. hmm People forget real quick. You do something for them, and they just act like they don't see you when they see you on the street. That's why God don't need all that fanfare. God is faithful, and I'm thankful, and I'm grateful for it all. Don't forget to look at your link for to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use along with All Natural Remedies. When they told me that I had 6 months to live through a diagnosis of breast cancer, I said, the devil is lying. I ain't going nowhere. And they said, well, look, it's all on your left hand side. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I don't hear what you saying. I'm not going nowhere. And they said, we need to do immediate surgery. I said, that's not what we're going to do. Because they were trying to get me to do it, but they kept backpedaling and trying to gaslight me. I said, what you not gonna do is gang up on me and try to gaslight me so you can get me on the table. Ain't finna be nobody's science project. The devil is a lie. So I told them, I said, I bind every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I curse it to the root, and I send it back to the pit of hell. I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God, and I take full responsibility for what I did. Because see, when you take full responsibility, God got you. Honey, I took full responsibility. It kept going on about my business. And God said, if you take anything in this office, you going in a week. And I said, maybe vain, but I like looking at myself in the mirror. So I left there, went and talked to God. He your naturopathic doctor, and I did. I called my naturopathic doctor, and she said, well, and I pulled out everything that Dr. Sebi said. And I pulled out everything that Dr. Sebi had on being alkaline. And she said, this, and this, and this, and this, even though it's fruit and vegetables. This a great list, but this will turn the acid in your belly. And we need to change it up. You can have everything else. We need to take this off because of your blood type. That's why I say, find out what your blood type is and quit following everybody else. And then do some research on your own. We got Chat GPT. We got everything. We got AI. You mean to tell me you can't? All right. Do some research. Find out what is going on with you. Make some sense to you, and then start looking at things. Honey, I figured it out. My ancestors said get that dandelion, get that morning glory. You can smoke that up, okay? If you do. And then that crabgrass, you seen the video. I know you see, well, go look and see on my page. You see the video. The crabgrass, it tastes like scallions because it's wild scallions. Our ancestors lived off that. Okay. Then I got that, how did I just forget that? You know what it is. It's like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together. Poke salad. It's like cilantro and lettuce had a baby together. And it's serrated around the edges, and it's got a nutty kind of minty. You gotta taste it to see what I'm talking about. It is amazing, and it's full of chlorophyll too. Remember green, full of chlorophyll, because that's what we need. It's chlorophyll equals melanin. Don't ever forget that. Honey, I put that together on top of my spinach underneath my jasmine rice. That jasmine rice wilted it, but it still allowed it to have that crunch. Went down with that chlorophyll doing what it needed to do. And I had that squash, zucchini, red onions, red, orange, and yellow bell peppers. And every once in a while, I add some seafood, just add some meat in there. And then my naturopathic doctor said, look, I know you don't want to do it, but I need you to add some red meat to your diet twice this month because your white blood cells are low and we need to get your T cells up to fight because we need your white blood cells on strong. And I said, say less. Okay. And now they find out what? Most of these diseases are done by parasites. See? Told you. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I thank you, God, for loving me and keeping me and keeping me safe. I thank you right now to God for the butt whoopings. Why I thank you for them butt whoopings? Because you didn't give me over to the reprobate mind where I'd be over there by myself in a corner trying to figure it out. Child, I ain't got time for that. I love me some God. Me and God gonna talk about crazy stuff, funny stuff, everything. I'm be laughing. You be like, what you laughing at? I'm talking to God about something. Don't worry about it. Child, I'm thankful, God. I thank you so much. God, I thank you that even though they said that we disenfranchised and that we the minority, we are not. You said that we were Israel. We said that we were the true Jews. You said that we are your children. Okay, let's go with it. God, I thank you right now. They told us to pull up your bootstraps, and so we did. And then they came and took our shoes and our shoestrings. You said, go and get that bamboo and make some shoes. We got made our shoes, put up some strings, the vines, and make some shoestrings. They told me, wait a minute, we took everything. You didn't take everything. God gave us this land, and we going to live off of it for real. Child, let me tell you something. We don't die, we multiply. We figure out what God is saying. We going to figure this thing out because one thing we know is we know God. Okay, we don't know nothing else. We know God. Honey, child, and then I just want to thank you for being here because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here. Don't forget to share this out and subscribe to my channel. All right. I love you in the love of the Lord, and may you go forward in everything that God is calling you to do. You find out what your purpose is, you stay on that thing. You may fall a few times, but keep getting up. Every time you fall down, you keep getting up, okay? You may be crying, but still get back up. Don't stop. You may crawl, you may need to take a break. You take a nap, whatever. But don't quit on yourself, all right? I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great evening. Good night.